Nerd life is so much better than regular life. I bring up nerd life in part because it's something that John and Hank Green have been talking about recently. And it's something that I feel really passionately about. Because the thing of being a nerd is that you love stuff. You found something that you're so passionate about that you want to know everything about it, and you get excited when there's new information, and you just want to be able to share it with other people. The awesomeness of nerd life and how we get very attached to these things that we love kind of explains why people are having such a strong reaction to characters who die. Personally, I have the unfortunate talent of always falling in love with the character who dies. So my favorite character in nearly every single series that I follow dies. Like in Full Metal Alchemist, and in Angel, in Firefly, in Stargate, in Harry Potter, and yes, in Torchwood. I don't know how I do it, but my favorite character is always the one who dies. I kind of want to do like a research study on these characters and figure out, one, if they have something in common that draws me to them, and two, if that thing makes them more likely to die. But that's not what I'm doing today. Today, I am talking about character arcs and why characters die. Fiction is informed by reality, and characters should be much like real people, but the difference is that in your life, you live your entire life beginning to end. But in a story, we're only seeing one small snapshot of a character in their life and their world in that story. So when a character hits a plateau, their character arc is completed within that little finite space. What happens with a writer is that once that character's arc is completed, if the story isn't completed, they can either have that character sitting in the background with people going, well, why don't you ever talk about so-and-so anymore? Or they can do something more proactive, like kill them. Killing characters can easily be classified as a cheap trick. But it's not really a cheap trick. Not if it benefits the story and they're pulling an emotional response from you as an audience. It can be a tool, where a death can serve as an impetus for another character to do something else and to grow further. Like, for example, in Star Wars when Obi-Wan dies and therefore Luke has a new impetus to continue on his journey to become a Jedi. Now, I'm speaking very broadly about characters and the reasons why they die, and maybe this conversation would be better with specifics, but I didn't want to spoil anyone for anything. But I think the only way I can sum this up is to come back to nerd love, and that nerds love things so intensely and passionately that when our favorite thing is taken away, it really hurts. And guys, if you had a favorite character die, especially recently, I'm really sorry. You have my condolences. And I think the only way we can make this better, group hug.